Hey fam, it's Lex. So listen, I want to talk about one of my guiding principles today, which is freedom through discipline. Freedom through discipline. So this is going to be for folks that are a lot like me, which is to say people that are super neurotic, like I am. I'm a creative, which means I get easily distracted. I like to wander off in my mind for hours on end. I do things in odd orders, and this creates complete chaos in the rest of my life if I don't discipline and if I don't order other aspects. So I've heard it talked about in neuroscience, which I'm not a neuroscientist, but this concept that our brain essentially becomes exhausted after we make a certain number of decisions throughout the day. So if you burn up those decisions on things like what should I eat for breakfast or what should I wear today, your brain is going to be in a different state of lag or exhaustion when it comes to bigger decisions that are more important. And for me, one of the ways that I overcome this is by disciplining and ordering the rest of my life. I've written about this before, about me laying out my day in a particular order, literally a particular order that goes down to the minute. You know, I do this thing for 2 minutes and this thing for 3 minutes and this thing for 30 minutes and then this thing for 20 minutes. And I know what my day looks like. It's structured in that way. That might sound crazy to you, but I think when I get into the reason why, it'll make a little more sense. So I'm not saying everybody has to lay out their day like that, but what it does for me is it offers me the freedom to be able to not wonder, am I going to get to this thing? But I know I'm going to get to it when I get to that part of my day. Okay? And that gives me the freedom to relax, to be more present in that moment where I'm at. One of the problems that I was having was that I had booked up my time so much with whatever random crap, right? We're all super busy, that I wasn't paying attention to the people around me. And I would get to the end of the day and I would want to sneak out. I would want to dip out of whatever it was that I was doing then and be able to do something that I wanted to do. So I would be listening to podcasts, which is something that I really enjoy doing, in moments when there would be people around me that I should probably be paying more attention to, right? Or I'd find myself in a time when I should be working, that I would be on Facebook or something that was more interesting. And that procrastination cycle made me feel really crappy about myself. Like I'm not productive, I'm not getting the things done. And then I'd get down on myself, which would make me only want to be more distracted, right? You've been in this loop before, right? We want to be distracted from what we're doing, and then we feel like crap that we're distracted. But then if we want to be attentive to the fact that we feel like crap, then that requires more focus than we have, so we just keep being distracted, and so on and so forth. And before you know it, you've wasted 4 hours of your life, and then you've wasted 3 days of your life, and then you're down a month down the road and you haven't done a damn thing that you wanted to do. Okay? I'm not being extreme. This is completely realistic. So what does discipline allow me to do? And I'm not saying it's easy, but what it allowed me to do is to say, okay, I'm going to build in time where my mind gets to wander. I'm going to build in time where I make sure that I'm getting done the obligations that I have. I'm going to make sure that I have time to set aside to do the dishes, to take out the garbage, to take a shower, to brush my teeth. So I don't have to worry about when are those things going to happen. I know when they're going to happen. And then I went through a process where I had to train myself to do it. Okay, this probably took the most discipline of all. And I do not consider myself to be a disciplined person. I consider myself to be a highly distractible person who requires discipline to experience the freedom of mind that I want. Okay, that's an important distinction. I had to train myself. I sat down, literally sat down and said, if my day starts at 6 in the morning and it ends at 10:30 at night, what are all of the things that I need to accomplish? What does my morning look like? That morning could be the same across all 7 days. That evening could be the same across all 7 days. And 5 days that I have work days, what does it look like? What are those things that I have to get done? I went through this entire process and I laid out a full day for myself. Okay, and then I got an app called Daily Routines. I don't know, you can look it up, whatever. But I got this app. And then I plugged in all these different time slots, all these different routines. I'm not going to lie to you. This took a few hours. It took a few hours for me to do all this stuff. So that requires a certain amount of crazy. I have that amount of crazy. I did the work. I went ahead and did that thing. And then I had to program myself. The app would show me a reminder. Fool, you're supposed to be taking a shower right now. Oh, get up, stop doing what I'm doing, go take my shower. And I programmed myself, trained myself to be able to follow that thing. And it sucked. For a solid week, it sucked. And then it stopped sucking. And then it became part of my routine, part of my body memory. I would wake up, I would do things in the same order every day. And you know what? I didn't have to think about what those things were doing. And you know what came? You know what happened? I became more present with the people around me because I made a commitment. During this time, I'm not going to have my phone on. I'm not going to be listening to things. I'm not going to be watching things. I'm not going to be doing this. I'm only going to pay attention to this thing that I'm doing. I became more present. My relationships became more fulfilling. I had more fun. I was more enjoyable to be around because I wasn't trying to sneak out in the middle of something else that I'm supposed to be doing. I was more productive. I got things done because I knew that for that hour, my job was to concentrate on that thing that I was doing. And after that hour, I had built in a certain amount of time that I could go play. I could go screw around. I could go do whatever. Okay? This is how I found freedom. Okay? This is how I found time, space, pockets, big pockets of time that I didn't even know were there, where I could be distracted, where I could be playful, where I could go for a walk and let my mind wander. And that was okay. And the other thing was, and this is really important, is that you're going to have to be selfish. You're going to have to be selfish with the people in your life and say, look, I'm doing this thing and I'm going to do it and I need you to respect that I'm doing it. And you know what? People were irritated. It was a little annoying at first. And then people got used to it. And they actually adapted to my routine. They may not realize that's what they were doing, but they were. They were adapting to my routine. And now it's not a problem. And I found a lot more freedom, a lot more fulfillment, and a lot more enjoyment. And then over time, the honest truth, I fell off. I kind of forgot about it. And you know what? I've had to retrain myself and go back to that, go back to that, go back to that. That's how I found the freedom. It sounds crazy. It sounds over the top. It sounds way overbearing. And you know what the other alternative is? Is that you have nothing. You have nothing to fall back on. Your days are chaotic. They're frustrating. It always feels overwhelming. You feel like there's too much to do, and when are you going to do it, and how's it going to get done, and what's the time look like? This is an opportunity to find freedom in the discipline, okay? To find freedom through discipline. Discipline is a muscle. I talk about that a lot. It's a muscle that can be developed. This is possible. It worked for me. I believe it can work for other people. Maybe I'm just a crazy guy, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Maybe for you, laying out your entire day is a little off the chain. But maybe there's something in there that you can do. Maybe there's a morning routine that you can build for yourself that allows you to start your day on that level footing. Doesn't make you feel overwhelmed and chaotic and just, at the mercy of whatever whim pops up. That you actually feel like you have a solid foundation to start from. So there you go. There it is. I'm not going to tell you what my daily routine is because I'm not quite that transparent, but I have one, okay? And I follow it most days of the week. Sometimes I slack off, you forgive yourself, you keep it moving. But that's it. Discipline through freedom through discipline. Freedom through discipline, okay? That's the principle. That's one of my guiding principles. Hope that helps. And let me know what you think. Maybe you think I'm crazy. Maybe you don't. Let me know.